Today we're going to make monkey tails. We used to call this the very generic term of frozen bananas with peanut butter and chocolate, and one of our clients' kids said, "Those are monkey tails." And I said, "You bet, that's a much better name." So they've been monkey tails ever since. This is a fun after school snack that everybody can help make. But we're going to need, we're going to start with what we need. First of all, you need bananas, and you really want to get slightly underripe bananas, ones that have a little bit of green here. When they start to have brown spots on them, they're getting too ripe and too soft, and they'll be really difficult to work with. These will be better used in a smoothie or in banana bread, some other use other than this recipe. Then we need peanut butter. Any kind of peanut butter will work. You can use natural or regular. You can use organic, doesn't matter. You can also use any other kind of nut or seed butter like cashew, almond, sunflower seed, soy nut butter, even tahini, which is a sesame seed paste. All of those will work, and they taste different, and they could all equally be good, but so use whatever you want. The other thing I want to talk about is no double dipping of your peanut butter or whatever nut butter or seed butter you're using. This is just a good habit to get into. If you're a family that isn't 100% gluten-free, you have to have separate containers for, say, your peanut butter, one for the gluten-free people in the family, one for everybody else. Because the other people probably are going to be dipping their knife into the peanut butter, spreading it on wheat bread or a cracker or something with gluten in it, and then sticking it back in the jar and contaminating it. So it's just a great idea to get in the habit of separating your peanut butter and also labeling your peanut butter so that when people go to get it in the pantry, they can see this is the gluten-free version, or this is Sarah's kind, or whoever in your family is gluten-free. If you're 100% gluten-free, then it doesn't matter so much. We're going to need chocolate, and I suggest here that you use semi-sweet or bittersweet chocolate. The kids will think that they don't like that probably, and they might want milk chocolate, and that'll work. But the semi-sweet and dark chocolates have more antioxidants and less sugar in them, and this is a great place to introduce kids to that because they're going to have the sweetness of the banana, the creaminess of the peanut butter, and it all mixed together perfectly. When you're buying your cocoa and your chocolate, look for a higher percent of cacao. Here, this is 60% cacao. I also have some here at home that's 70%. The higher the cacao, the lower the sugar. The other thing you want to do is make sure that the brand that you're buying is gluten-free. And I've called the Giardelli people, and they explained to me what kinds of their chocolate were gluten-free and what kinds were produced on a line that also produced things with gluten in it. For instance, their dark chocolates are all gluten-free. The white chocolates are produced on a line that makes a chocolate bar that has wheat wafers in it. So you want to be sure about your chocolate. In this case, I called the company. It wasn't on their website, and I encouraged them to please put that on the website. I did a post on the blog about this too, with their exact response. And they were very kind and they told me all kinds of stuff on the phone, and it was like more than I could sort out on the phone, so I asked them to email it to me, which they were very kind to do, and it was useful information. Okay, you're going to need some kind of container to melt the chocolate chips in. You're going to need some wooden sticks. You're going to need oil, any kind of mild flavored oil will work. You're going to need a relatively sharp knife to cut through the banana skins. And so this might be the one area where you want to supervise if you're doing this with little kids. You want some sort of a spreader. It could either be a spatula, or in our house this is called a girl knife, because in our house the little ones were all girls, and the kids said, "I need a girl knife." So that'll work. You need cling wrap of some sort, plastic wrap. You can use, for part of this recipe, you can use nonstick foil, which I've discovered and which I really like. So there you have it. This is what you need, and now we're going to clean up the kitchen a little bit and come back in a second and get started. We're back. prepare your pan. You can either use the non-stick foil like I have here, or you can use the saran wrap if you don't have this kind of foil. Then we're going to take the bananas and we're going to cut them just like this here. Cut them before you peel them. And you can do it right here on this pan. If you make a little nick in the foil or the saran wrap, it doesn't matter. Alright, so that's what you're done with the sharp knife. Okay, so then take your popsicle stick and try to stick it right up through the middle. Don't have it go like that or like that. You don't want it popping through. So, like so. Very easy to do. And you do all of those before you peel them. This just makes it a little easier to handle. And then also for the amounts of ingredients in this recipe, for the peanut butter and the chocolate, they're somewhat estimates because your bananas are going to be different sizes. Alright, so, thought I lost a stick there. Just waiting. Oh, I felt that one. It came through to the skin. It'll just be that way. Alright, so then you peel your banana. Oh, and we've got a little bit of an icky spot. We'll just cut that out. It's always a good reason to get a little more than you think you need. Oh, this is really sad. Alright, we're okay there. Alright, so then take your banana and smear it with the peanut butter. And this is a great spot to get everybody involved. They can all do their own. And you can hear about their day at school and talk to them. That's all a wonderful thing. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about a little bit is the nutrition of bananas and peanut butter. Bananas, of course everyone knows, are an excellent source of potassium. But they also have good fiber. They also are a good source of vitamin B6 and vitamin C. And lots of antioxidants. Okay, this doesn't have to be a work of art here. However you do it is great. Now let's see if we have better luck here. Perfect. Alright, this is going to be a bigger one. For a bigger appetite. And you can spread this thick or thin, your choice, however you want. I personally love peanut butter and chocolate. I like it, both of them thick. Okay, you also don't need to get to the very bottom. We will cover that with chocolate when we're done, but it's wetter, more moist, and it's slippery right now, and it's hard to get that peanut butter to stick. Alright, take off some of the little strings. And sometimes if your bananas feel pretty soft and you're putting the peanut butter on here and it feels like it's pulling the banana on the stick, you can support the banana with your finger there. That'll help. So we continue till they're all done, and you can of course do 1 banana, 2 bananas, 3 bananas, 4 or more. It'll just take you longer, this step and the chocolate step too. But then we're going to put them in the freezer and freeze them for 2 hours. We don't cover them, we just put them straight into the freezer. Freeze them for at least 2 hours so they're frozen. You can go 3, 4. I don't think I'd leave them in there 24 hours like this though, uncovered. And then we'll come back and we'll put the chocolate on them. The other thing is that you want to, before you start this process, make sure you have room for them in your freezer. You need to be able to take this pan and put it right in the freezer. Good enough? Trying to get that. There we go. That little spot. All right. There we go. These are going straight into the freezer, and we'll leave them there for at least 2 hours, 2, 3, 4, like I said before. And we'll come back, and then we'll put the melted chocolate on them and wrap them up, and we'll be good to go. Hi, we're back. We're going to melt the chocolate chips, and so I put them in a microwave safe container, and we don't need all of those. They're really good just to eat by themselves. All right, and then we're going to add in a little bit of oil, and the oil makes the chocolate a little bit less brittle when it's frozen, so that it doesn't shatter so much when you bite into it. It'll still be crunchy. So I'm going to go to the microwave and heat this in 30-second to 1-minute increments. It'll take, it depends on your microwave, it'll take a minute or two probably. But you also want to be careful because the chocolate chips can melt without losing their shape at first. And so stir them. After 30 seconds, stir them. And after you've done this recipe a couple of times, you'll know how long it takes in your microwave. So I'm going to go over to the microwave and I'll come back in a minute. Okay, this has been about a minute in my microwave. You can see, maybe you can see that it's beginning to melt a little bit over here. I'm going to stir it, and you'll see that it's partially melted and partially not. So this just helps to get it stirred up a little bit. And then I'm going to go back and microwave it for about another minute. Okay, we're back, and the bananas have magically appeared. They were retrieved from the freezer. Here, I don't know if you can see, there's little bits of chocolate chip in there too, but they will smooth out as I stir it. So that just takes a couple of seconds to stir and make sure they're all smooth. So you can see that it's all nice and smooth now. So we're going to just simply put the frozen peanut butter bananas. You can, in the beginning, you can put them just in there. After a little bit, you'll have to do this kind of action. And we're just going to cover them with chocolate. Again, you can use a knife or you can use this spatula. And here you do want to cover the bottom of the banana. So you can be neat or messy, your choice. You just quickly put that on. Go on to the next one. And then do them all. It looks like we're going to come out pretty good here on chocolate. Not have too much left over, which doesn't have to be a problem. Sometimes you can lick the bowl. Okay, we're good. And you can see that this chocolate's already getting hard, but I want it to be completely hard before I wrap them in saran wrap or plastic wrap. So I'm going to put these back in the freezer for half an hour, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap them up. Okay, we're back. We have some frozen chocolate. I don't know if you can hear that. And we're simply going to wrap them in a little bit of plastic wrap, and it doesn't take a very big piece. So I need pieces. And then after that, you can eat them right now if you want to. Or you can store them in the freezer, and I'd say they're good for at least a month. I have some here already in a little container. I would put them in something besides just the plastic because they'll get lost in there and the plastic might come undone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Very simple. You just fight with the plastic a little. Peel them. Very easy to peel them off of the foil, or saran wrap works equally well. And you just put the plastic wrap on them and twirl it around the bottom, and there you go, right into the container. So I hope you'll enjoy these. They're a lot of fun to make and a lot of fun to eat. Bye! That looks like a lot of fun right there. Back into the freezer.